The grand meeting hall of Proxima Station glowed with soft blue light. 12 alien representatives sat at the curved table. Their faces showed boredom. They had heard the same human arguments many times before. Ambassador Alan Wright stood tall despite his tired eyes. For 3 years, he had tried to make the Galactic Council understand that humans deserved fair treatment. For 3 years, they had ignored him. "The mining rights on Europa are not open for discussion," said Vrax, the tall Zardaxian with purple skin. "Humans lack the technology to properly use those resources. The Council will handle extraction and provide Earth with a suitable percentage." Lisa Donovan, sitting beside Wright, wrote a note on her tablet and slid it to him. Wright read it without changing his expression. The note said simply, "It's time." Wright nodded slightly. They had discussed this moment for weeks. The President had given clear instructions. No more begging for respect. "High Lord Vrax," Wright said calmly, "what percentage does the Council consider suitable?" The alien's mouth twisted into what might have been a smile. 8% would be generous, considering your limited contributions to galactic society." Wright looked around the room. The Mendelian representative was checking something on his device, not even paying attention. The Telbeni delegate was whispering to an aide. None of them thought this conversation mattered. "I see," Wright said. He closed his folder and placed his pen inside his jacket pocket. Lisa began packing her tablet and notes. The other 4 members of the human team followed their lead. The Elloran representative, Thala, noticed first. Her large eyes blinked rapidly. "Ambassador Wright, we have not finished today's agenda." Wright stood up. "I believe we have, Counselor Thola." The room grew quiet as the aliens realized all the humans were now standing. Some looked confused. Others seemed annoyed at the interruption. "What is the meaning of this display?" demanded Vrax. His voice echoed in the suddenly silent chamber. "Earth thanks the Galactic Council for its time," Wright said. His voice was steady but carried to every corner of the room. "We will be withdrawing from these talks, effective immediately." Now he had their attention. The Vexillian representative knocked over a glass of water. The Raxian military observer stood up sharply. "This is most irregular," said the council chief, an ancient Mendelian with gray skin. "If Earth has new demands, they must be submitted through proper channels before being brought to this body." Lisa Donovan looked the alien directly in his 3 eyes. "Earth has no new demands. We are simply done making the same old ones." The human delegation moved toward the exit. The large doors stood open, revealing the station's main corridor beyond. "You cannot leave," Vrax shouted, his purple skin darkening with anger. "The consequences for Earth will be severe." Wright paused at the doorway and turned. For the first time, every alien was looking at him with their full attention. "For 3 years," he said quietly, "we have asked to be treated as equals. We have shared our resources, our innovation, our unique perspectives. In return, you have treated us like children. You have taken our cooperation for granted." He straightened his shoulders. "Contact us when you're ready to negotiate as equals. Until then, Earth will manage without council assistance." The humans walked out. The doors closed behind them with a soft hiss. Inside the chamber, the aliens sat in stunned silence. Then they all began talking at once. Arguments broke out immediately. Some wanted to punish Earth. Others suggested quick concessions to bring the humans back. Only Thala of the Ellerans remained quiet, her large eyes troubled. She had studied human history. She knew what happened to those who cornered them. On the shuttle back to their ship, Lisa looked at Wright. "Do you think they understand what just happened?" Wright gazed out at the stars. "No, but they will." The human ship detached from Proxima Station and disappeared into the darkness of space, leaving confusion in its wake. News spread fast across the galaxy. Humans had walked away from the council. Some aliens laughed, others worried. No one knew what would happen next. On the council space station, emergency meetings filled the halls. High Lord Vrax pounded his fist on the table. This human behavior is unacceptable. We must punish them immediately, he said. The 12 alien representatives argued loudly. Some wanted to block human ships from using jump gates. Others suggested taking over human mining colonies. Only Counselor Thela spoke calmly. Her blue skin looked pale under the bright lights. I have studied humans for many years, she said. They do not make empty threats. If they say they can manage without us, we should believe them. No one listened to her. The council voted to place trade limits on Earth goods. They thought humans would come back quickly when they felt the pain. Give them 2 weeks, said the Mendelian representative. They are emotional creatures. They will return begging for forgiveness. Thala shook her head but said nothing more. Meanwhile, on Earth, Admiral Peter Morgan stood in the underground command center. Large screens showed the positions of every human ship in space. The president had just finished speaking. Is everyone clear on protocol silence? Morgan asked the room full of officers. Yes, sir, they answered. Morgan looked at the map. Begin Phase 1. All military vessels withdraw from joint patrols. All trade ships return to human space. Reduce communications to emergency channels only. Across the stars, human captains received their orders. They left their posts without explanation. Alien commanders watched in confusion as human ships changed course and disappeared. Captain Ben Miller of the patrol ship Defender had worked with Raxian forces for 5 years. His alien partner, Commander Zex, seemed genuinely sad when Miller prepared to leave. Is this really necessary, Ben? Asked Zex. Our work together has been valuable. Miller liked Zex. They had saved each other's lives more than once. But orders were orders. I'm sorry, Zex. This comes from the top. The council needs to understand we won't be pushed around anymore. Zex's scales flattened against his head, a sign of worry. The pirate groups will return if we don't patrol together. Neither of us can cover this much space alone. That's for the council to worry about now, Miller said. He offered his hand in the human way. After a moment, Zex shook it. I hope to see you again, friend, said the alien. Me too, Miller replied. Then he boarded his ship and left. Similar scenes played out all over council space. Human doctors left alien hospitals. Human engineers walked away from joint projects. Human traders closed their shops on alien worlds. The council didn't worry at first. Humans made up only a small part of the galactic community, but they had filled important roles that others had avoided. After 3 weeks, the first problems appeared. A medical station near Vexillian space ran out of special medicines that only humans produced. A mining operation on the rim reported equipment failures with no human technicians to fix them. On the border planet Nexus, alien merchants watched their stocks drop. Almost 40% of their business had come from human buyers and sellers. Council member races began sending worried messages to their representatives. How long would this human silence last? What would it mean for business? For security? In her private chambers, Counselor Thilla received reports from her own people. The Ellerin ships that had replaced humans on patrol duty were stretched too thin. Dangerous areas went unwashed. She wrote a message to the council leader. We have gravely misunderstood these humans. I recommend we reconsider our position. The council leader read her message and deleted it without replying. Like most of the council, he still believed humans would return on their own. He was wrong. 3 months passed since the humans left the peace talks. The Galactic Council expected them to return quickly. They did not. Carol Martinez steered her mining ship through the rocky Kuiper Belt. Large chunks of ice and stone floated all around. Her crew worked the drills, pulling rare minerals from the biggest rocks. Captain, we have a full load, said her first mate, Rick. Where do we take it now? We used to sell to the Vexillians. Carol looked at her screen. Before the walkout, they would have gone straight to the alien trading post. The Vexillians paid well for human mine materials. We take it home, she said. Earth needs these resources now more than ever. Similar scenes played out across human space. The goods that once flowed to alien worlds now stayed in human hands. Earth was keeping everything it produced. On the Vexillian homeworld, factory owners grew worried. Their machines needed special metals that only human miners could reach. Without those metals, production slowed. Workers lost jobs. When will the humans return? They asked their leaders. No one had an answer. The problems spread. On medical planet Helios 4, hospital director Graz faced a crisis. His shelves stood empty of many important medicines. "We need the human suppliers," he told his staff. 40% of our drugs came from their companies. "Can we make them ourselves?" asked a young doctor. Graz shook his head. "Some plants only grow on Earth. Some formulas are human secrets. We never bothered to learn because it was easier to buy from them." The Mendelian pharmaceutical companies faced the biggest trouble. They had built their business around processing plants that humans discovered. Now those plants stopped coming. Without new supplies, they would close within months. Far from the core worlds, on the edge of known space, the frontier planet New Montana buzzed with activity. Susan Kelly, the colony leader, directed the moving trucks. "Everything of value goes with us," she told the colonists. "Leave nothing useful behind." For years, the humans of New Montana had run a trading post. Alien explorers came to buy supplies and information about the uncharted areas beyond. The humans knew the safe routes, the dangerous places, the locations of valuable resources. Now they packed up that knowledge and moved deeper into unclaimed territory. When alien prospectors arrived the next day, they found an empty outpost and no one to guide them. On the human colony World Haven, Governor Paul Jackson inspected the new defense systems. Engineers worked day and night to build weapons and shields. "Will it be enough?" he asked. Chief Engineer Donna Lewis nodded. "These cannons use technology we kept hidden from the Council. They'll be surprised if they try to attack us." All across human space, secret projects moved from labs to production. Ideas and designs that Earth held back during negotiations now became real weapons and tools. In the Council chambers, the first signs of real worry appeared. Supply reports showed serious shortages. Security updates warned of increased pirate activity in sectors once patrolled by humans. "It has been 3 months," said Councillor Thula. "The humans are not returning as you predicted." High Lord Vrax still showed no concern. "They will break eventually." No single species can stand alone against the economic power of the Council. But privately, some representatives began to wonder. The humans were not behaving as expected. They showed no signs of suffering from the Council's trade restrictions. In fact, human space seemed busier than ever. Their ships moved constantly between their own worlds. New construction could be seen on long-range scans. Earth was building something, but what? "Perhaps," suggested Iraxian General, "we should send observers, just to see what the humans are doing." The Council approved this plan, but when their scout ships approached human territory, they found something new. Advanced sensor arrays that detected them despite their cloaking devices. Warning shots drove them away. For the first time, the Council felt uncertain. The humans weren't just surviving without them. They were growing stronger. 6 months after humans left the peace talks, the first big crisis hit the Council. A massive solar flare struck the farm stations of Tulbani. The energy shields failed. Crops died in minutes. Without those farms, millions of Tulbani would have no food. In the past, Earth ships would have been first to bring help. Their disaster teams were the best in the galaxy. Now, no human ships came. "We must handle this ourselves," said the Council leader. But none of the alien races had the right experience. Their efforts moved too slowly. People on Tulbani went hungry. "Where are the humans?" asked angry crowds. Why did the Council drive them away? For the first time, common people questioned the Council's decision. The Tulbani representative sent an urgent message. "My people need food. They don't care about politics. Fix this problem or find someone who can." The Council sent ships with supplies, But organizing the effort took too long. Many Telbani died before help arrived. Their families blamed the council. Far from the crisis, another problem grew. Pirates attacked trade ships more often. The routes once protected by human Raxian patrols became dangerous. "We lost 3 cargo ships this month," reported a Vixilian captain. "The pirates know the military ships can't cover all the space." The council military stretched its forces thin, trying to patrol all the areas humans once helped guard. Ships and crews worked double shifts. Still, they couldn't stop all attacks. "We need more ships," said the Raxian admiral, "or we need the humans back." On Earth, deep under the mountains of Colorado, President Sam Curtis met with her military leaders. They gathered in a room built to block all signals from outside. "Report on Project Shield," she said. Admiral Morgan stood. "Very good progress, Madam President. The engineers have made breakthroughs we never shared with the Council." Engineers Joe Patterson and Angela Ramirez showed their work on a large screen. They had studied damaged alien ships for years. Now they used that knowledge to build better shields for Earth vessels. "The new system is twice as strong as anything the Council has," said Joe. "We've installed it on 10 ships already." The President nodded. "And our other projects?" "Moving forward quickly," Angela said. "Without having to share with the Council, we can work much faster." For years, humans had held back their best ideas during negotiations. They tried to be fair partners. Now, freed from Council rules, they built all the things they had only dreamed about before. "Any word from the Council?" asked the President. "Nothing official," Morgan said. "But our intelligence reports they're having serious problems. The Telbani situation is just the beginning." The President looked at the gathered leaders. "Then we stay the course. Earth will be stronger on its own than it ever was as a junior partner to the Council." Back in Council space, the effects of human absence grew clearer each day. Hospitals reported medicine shortages. Factories slowed production. Trade declined between worlds. A group of business leaders from 5 different species met secretly. Their profits had fallen since humans left. "We must pressure the Council to bring humans back," said a Mendelian factory owner. "My business cannot survive another 6 months of this." They decided to send messages to their representatives. Money talked, even in alien politics. In her private office, Councillor Thilla received more bad news. A moon colony needed evacuation due to radiation leaks. Without human experts, the repair would take months instead of weeks. She drafted another warning to the Council. This time, a few other representatives signed it too. The message was simple. The absence of humans creates problems we cannot easily solve. We must reconsider our approach. For the first time, the Council agreed to discuss the human situation as a serious issue. The crisis had begun. 1 year after humans left the peace talks, something strange happened. A ship from the Rathy Empire entered Earth's solar system. The Rathy were old enemies of the Council. For centuries, they stayed away from Council space. Earth defense ships surrounded the alien vessel. Captain Diana Foster received orders to meet with the Rathy. Her ship docked with theirs at a secret base on the far side of the moon. "Be careful," Admiral Morgan told her. "We know very little about the Rathy. They may try to trick us." Diana entered the meeting room with 6 armed guards. The Rathy ambassador waited inside. He looked almost human except for his golden skin and 6 fingers on each hand. "I am Kelmar," he said, bowing slightly. "The Rathy Empire sends greetings to Earth." Diana nodded but kept her distance. "Why have you come?" "The Rathy have never shown interest in humans before." Kelmar smiled. "Things change, Captain Foster. We have watched your people walk away from the Council." It was impressive. He placed a small device on the table. It projected a 3D image of a ship engine unlike anything Diana had seen before. "The Rathy Empire offers Earth an alliance," Kelmar said. "Your creativity combined with our technology would benefit us both." Diana stared at the engine design. It was far more advanced than anything humans had. "With this technology, Earth ships could travel 10 times faster. Why would you share this with us? She asked. The Council has been our enemy for thousands of years, Kelmar replied. They fear us because we refuse to join them. You now stand apart as well. Together, we could change the balance of power. Diana brought the offer back to Earth. In the President's meeting room, government leaders argued about what to do. Frank Cooper, the Defense Secretary, pounded the table. This is the chance of a lifetime. Rathy technology would advance us by centuries. Others were not so sure. The Rathy might be worse than the Council, said an older general. We know very little about them. For days, the debate continued. Some wanted a full alliance. Others wanted nothing to do with the Rathy. President Curtis listened to all sides. Finally, she made her decision. We will accept a limited trade agreement, she announced. We will exchange goods and some technology. But no military alliance. Not yet. Diana brought the answer back to Kelmar. The Rathy seemed pleased even with this limited deal. It is a good beginning, he said. My people value patience. Within weeks, Rathy engineers arrived on Earth. They helped install their advanced engines on human ships. In return, humans shared their unique ideas about shield technology. Your approach is different from anything we've tried, a Rathy engineer told Angela Ramirez. You see problems in new ways. A trade route opened between Earth and Rathy space. New goods flowed both ways. Human businesses found eager new customers. A Council spy ship detected the Rathy vessels near Earth. The news reached the Council quickly. Emergency alarms sounded throughout the Council headquarters. Humans are trading with the Rathy Empire. High Lord Vrax shouted. This cannot be allowed. But there was little the Council could do. Their military could not fight both humans and the Rathy at the same time. How did this happen? Asked the Mendelian representative. The Rathy have avoided contact with other species for centuries. Councillor Fella looked tired. She had warned them many times about pushing humans away. The Rathy are not fools, she said. They see in humans what we refuse to see. A young species with great potential. We treated humans as weak children. The Rathy treat them as valuable partners. For the first time, real fear spread through the Council. Human Rathy cooperation was their worst nightmare. Something had to be done, but what? The Council members looked at each other. No one had an answer. 18 months had passed since humans walked away from the peace talks. What began as an annoyance for the Council had grown into a serious problem. Now it looked more like a disaster. Council economists presented their reports. The news was all bad. Without human trade, many worlds faced economic trouble. Some smaller planets were already in recession. If this continues, we project a system-wide economic decline within 6 months, said the head economist. Too many businesses relied on human goods. But the economic problems were not the worst news. Council spies had captured images of human space. What they saw shocked everyone. Admiral Zex of the Raxian fleet showed the pictures on the main screen. They revealed massive shipyards hidden in Earth's asteroid belt. Huge vessels took shape there, unlike any human ships seen before. As you can see, Zex said, humans are building warships, many warships, and they appear to incorporate Rathy technology. The Council members stared in silence. The new human ships looked powerful. More concerning, human colonies that once seemed easy to attack now had strong defense systems. How did they advance so quickly? Asked the Vexillian representative. Their technology was far behind ours just 2 years ago. The answer came from the Council's military experts. Their report was even more disturbing. We believe humans have been hiding their true capabilities, said General Kras. For years, they shared only their basic technology with us, while keeping their best innovations secret. Images appeared on the screen showing new human weapons and shields being tested. The performances far exceeded what the Council thought humans could build. We had assumed the gap between our technology and theirs would take centuries to close. Kras continued. but it appears they have narrowed it significantly into just 18 months. High Lord Vrax looked angry. We still have advantages. Our ships can use cloaking technology. Humans cannot detect what they cannot see. The military security chief cleared his throat nervously. About that, my lord. We have troubling information. He played a recording from a spy mission. A council ship using full cloaking technology approached a human outpost. Suddenly, human defense systems locked onto the invisible ship and fired warning shots. They can detect our cloaked vessels. The security chief said, "We don't know how, but they can see what should be impossible to see." The room fell silent again. For hundreds of years, cloaking technology had given council races a major advantage. If humans could detect cloaked ships, a key strategic edge was gone. "How bad is our position?" asked the council leader finally. Admiral Zex looked grim. "If current trends continue, humans will match our military capability within 5 years. With Rathy support, perhaps sooner." Councillor Fella spoke up. "I warned this body many times. Humans advance quickly when challenged. It is in their nature. Now we face exactly what I feared. Humans growing stronger while standing against us rather than with us." High Lord Vrax pounded the table. "We should strike now, before they grow any stronger." But the military officers shook their heads. "A direct attack on Earth would require our entire fleet," said Admiral Zex, "and even then, success is not certain. Meanwhile, the Rathy would likely attack our undefended worlds." The council leader looked around the table. "Then what options remain?" Fala answered quietly. "We must admit our mistake. We must make genuine peace with humans, not as superiors granting favors, but as equals seeking partnership." For the first time since the crisis began, no one argued with her. The council that once dismissed humans as primitive now feared their rising power. "Prepare a diplomatic mission," the council leader ordered. "Our most senior representatives will go to Earth. We will offer real concessions this time." High Lord Vrax looked unhappy but remained silent. The time for pride had passed. Now survival was all that mattered. 2 years after humans left the peace talks, the Galactic Council formally voted to send a delegation to Earth. This time, they would not send junior representatives. The most senior council members would go themselves. The council ship approached Earth space slowly. They sent messages ahead, asking permission to enter. In the past, they would have simply arrived without asking. Now they waited for human approval. On Earth, President Curtis called a meeting with her advisors. "The council wants to talk," she said. After 2 years of silence, they're finally reaching out. "The question is, do we let them come?" Ambassador Wright, who had led the walkout 2 years earlier, nodded. "We should hear what they have to say. Our position has never been stronger." The president agreed. She sent a message allowing the council ship to dock at Luna Station, the base on Earth's moon. When the council delegation arrived, they found Luna Station greatly changed. 2 years ago, it had been a small diplomatic outpost. Now it was headquarters for the human defense fleet. Powerful ships patrolled nearby. Advanced weapons pointed outward from the moon's surface. Most surprising to the aliens were the Rathy engineers working alongside humans. The two species moved through the station corridors together, sharing ideas and technology. High Lord Vrax tried to hide his shock. "These facilities are impressive," he said. Ambassador Wright led the aliens to the conference room. President Curtis waited inside with her top advisors. The room had a large window overlooking Earth. The blue planet looked peaceful from this distance. The council lead negotiator stepped forward. He was the Mindalian leader himself, the highest authority in council space. He began with words no human had ever heard from the council before. "On behalf of the Galactic Council, I offer our sincere apology to the people of Earth," he said. "We treated humans unfairly. We failed to recognize your value and potential. This was a grave mistake." President Curtis showed no emotion. She had expected this. The Mindalian continued. He offered new terms for Earth to rejoin the galactic community. Humans would receive full voting rights on the council. Human territory would be respected. Human businesses would face no special taxes. These terms recognize Earth as a full and equal member of galactic society. The Mendelian finished. We hope you will accept our offer and return to the council. Ambassador Wright listened carefully. He remembered the many times the council had dismissed human concerns. For years, they had treated Earth like a child among adults. 2 years ago, Wright said, these terms would have been acceptable. We asked for nothing more than equal treatment. He paused, looking at the alien delegation. Today, they are merely a starting point for negotiations. High Lord Vrax could not stay silent. You expect more. The Council has never offered such generous terms to any species. Lisa Donovan, now Earth's top diplomat, smiled coldly. Things have changed, Lord Vrax. Humans no longer need the Council. The Council, it seems, needs humans. She activated a screen showing data from across Council space. Food shortages on 6 worlds. Medical systems failing on 12 more. Pirate attacks at an all-time high. Trade down by 30%. We're aware of your problems, Donovan said. We're also aware that you've lost ships trying to spy on our technology. The aliens looked uncomfortable. Their spy missions were supposed to be secret. President Curtis finally spoke. Earth is willing to negotiate new terms. But understand this. We will never again accept second-class status. The new agreement must recognize not just our current position, but our future potential. The council members looked at each other. They had come expecting gratitude for their generous offer. Instead, humans were making demands. But they had no choice. The council needed Earth more than Earth needed the council. We will consider your position, the Mendelian leader said carefully. Perhaps we can find terms acceptable to all. Wright nodded. We look forward to real negotiations this time. As equals, 5 years had passed since humans walked away from the peace talks. The galaxy looked very different now. Ships from many worlds gathered near Jupiter. They came to witness the signing of the Soul Accords, a new agreement between Earth, the Council, and the Rathy Empire. The signing ceremony took place on a space station built specially for this event. The circular room had windows facing Jupiter's swirling clouds. Representatives from 27 species filled the chamber. Alan Wright, now with gray hair but still sharp-eyed, stood with Lisa Donovan. She had been elected as Earth's president 6 months earlier. Did you ever think walking away would lead to this? She asked quietly. Wright smiled. I hoped it might. Sometimes you have to show people what they're missing. The Soul Accords created a new framework for how species would work together. Humans would have an equal voice on the council. Their ships could travel freely. Their goods would face no special taxes. But the agreement went further than that. It recognized Earth's special role as a bridge between the council and the Rathy. For thousands of years, these two powers had been enemies. Now, through human mediation, they found a way to coexist. The signing will begin, announced the ceremony master. One by one, the representatives stepped forward. The Mendelian Council leader signed first, followed by the Rathy ambassador. President Donovan signed for Earth. Each name added to the document marked a new chapter in galactic history. High Lord Vrax signed last. He still did not fully like the agreement, but even he had to admit that working with humans was better than working against them. It is done, said the ceremony master. Applause filled the room. At the reception afterward, aliens and humans mingled freely. Rathy engineers discussed technology with council scientists. Human merchants planned new trade routes with Vexillian partners. In one corner, Admiral Morgan talked with his former Raxian counterpart. I hear pirate attacks are down 80%, Morgan said. The Raxian nodded. Our joint patrols work well. Your ships are faster. Ours have better sensors. Together, we cover twice the space. This pattern repeated across many fields. Human creativity combined with alien experience created better results than either could achieve alone. Counselor Thilla approached Wright at the refreshment table. "Ambassador Wright, I want to thank you," she said. Wright looked surprised. "For what, counselor?" "For having the courage to walk away," she replied. It forced the council to see its mistake. Sometimes a hard lesson is the only one that works. Across the room, young human officers talked with Rathy military cadets. They had begun an exchange program, learning each other's fighting styles and tactics. The Rathy valued human adaptability. Humans admired Rathy discipline. President Donovan gave a short speech. She stood in the center of the room, her voice clear and strong. 5 years ago, Earth stood alone. We chose independence over unfair treatment. Today, we choose partnership based on mutual respect. The path was not easy, but it led to something better than what came before. She raised her glass. To a future where all our peoples advance together, each valued for their unique gifts. Everyone in the room raised their glasses. Even species that once looked down on humans now acknowledged their importance. As the celebration continued, Wright found a quiet spot by the windows. He gazed out at Jupiter and the ships gathered nearby. Some were designs he had never seen before, created through cooperation between different species. A young human diplomat joined him. "Sir, they say it was your idea to walk away from the talks. Is that true?" Wright shook his head. "It wasn't just my idea. We all saw that the council needed to learn a lesson." "What lesson was that?" asked the young diplomat. Wright smiled. "That absent friends are often valued more than those taken for granted. Sometimes you must walk away for others to see your true worth." He looked back at the gathering, at humans and aliens working together as equals at last. And sometimes, walking away is the first step to coming back stronger.